Okay, so we're going to start talking about addition of fractions where the number at the bottom is different. Now the number at the bottom is commonly called the denominator, and a typical question would be something along the lines of, let's say 5, 6 plus 7 eighths. Okay, now in order to add fractions together we need to make sure that the numbers at the bottom are the same as one another. In other words, the denominator is the same. And if you look at the previous videos, that will show you the basic guiding principles behind that. Where we have here is 6 and 8 is we need to work out a common number that will allow us to add those fractions together. Okay, one of the easiest ways of doing it is just simply to multiply 6 and 8 together, which is 48. So that's one way of which we can do it. However, another way would be to use what's called the lowest common multiple. And if you look at one of the other videos, that will show you how to work out the lowest common multiple of this number. And the lowest common multiple I'm going to use is going to be 24, because I know that 6 will divide into 24 4 times and 8 will divide into 24 3 times. So I could use 48 if I want to, not a problem. It just means that my numbers are going to be a little bit bigger. Or I could use the lowest one, which is 24 in this particular case. So in other words, I'm going to use the principle of equivalent fractions, and I'm going to create a situation where both of these fractions are something over 24 plus something over 24. In other words, the equivalent 5, 6 will be something over 24. And the way that we do that is we say, well, if I multiply 6 by 3, no, 6 by 4, I get 24. So because I've multiplied 6 by 4, I have to multiply 5 by 4. Because whatever I do to the bottom of a fraction, I have to do to the top of a fraction. So 5 times 4 is 20. So in other words, 20 over 24 is exactly the same as saying 5, 6. The fraction itself is the same as 20 over 24. All I've done is I've just made my numbers a little bit bigger. Okay, so the same with 8. What have I done to 8? How have I multiplied 8 in order to get to 24? Well, 8 times 3 is 24. So in other words, 8 times 3 there, I need to also times 3 at the top. So 8 times 3 is 24, which is fine. 7 times 3 is 21. So this fraction, 21 over 24, is the equivalent fraction to 7 over 8. And now I'm in a position where, because I've got common denominators, or the numbers at the bottom are common, I'm able now to add these together. So 5, 6 plus 7 eighths is the same as saying 20 over 24 plus 21 over 24, which is 41 over 24. Now, that is an improper fraction, because what I've got is a number at the top which is top heavy. So what I can do now is convert this to a mixed number. It is correct, but if you were doing an exam question or a test paper, there would be a mark that you would probably lose for not converting this then to a final amount, because 41 over 24 is the same as saying 41 divided by 24, which is the same as saying how many lots of 24 are there in 41. So how many lots of 24 are there in 41? Okay, now I could do that calculation if I want to, but I do know that 2 lots of 24 is 48. So there's only going to be 1 lot of 24, and then the bit that's going to be left is going to be 17/24. Okay, so the answer to my question is 5/6 plus 7/8 is 41/24 as an improper fraction, and then 1 and 17/24 as a whole, as a mixed number. And if you look at some of the other videos, that will show you how to make the transition from an improper to a mixed number. Okay, most of the principles of adding fractions are here. That really we need to make sure that the denominator is the same in both cases. And if you look at the next video, that will show the same principle, but we're also going to introduce some whole numbers and mixed numbers together.